Hey, welcome to the attic. I am Manadad. Before we jump in here, just a reminder, you gotta like and subscribe. I'm hoping to do some giveaways, but I need some subscribers to give away stuff. I have a box of Commander Legends I'm looking to crack, and sure gonna have a lot of sweet cards that I would love to send out. So like and subscribe, unless you're a contrary person. In that case, don't like and don't subscribe. Alright, now let's get into it. Today we are going to be talking about Wyleth, Soul of Steel, and my Aura version of it, which I'm calling Are You Kidding Me, Wyleth? Okay, so let's talk about Wyleth. Wyleth, Soul of Steel. This is from the Arm for Battle Precon from the Commander Legend set. What does Wyleth do? Wyleth is a 2/2 legendary human warrior with trample, and whenever Wyleth, Soul of Steel attacks, draw a card for each aura and equipment attached to it. So what are we going to have in this deck? We're going to have auras and equipment. Now, I think most people will probably be building around equipment, because equipment is just better than auras. It stays around when the creature gets eliminated. But that's the easy way of doing things, and our Wyleth, he's going to do things the hard way with lots and lots of auras, but still some equipment. Let's take a look. Okay, here's the ramp category. We've got Soul Ring. This comes with the Precon, Boros Signet. And then the lesser Signet, Talisman of Conviction. We're going to try to kill fast, so we don't mind if we take a little bit of damage from our mana rocks. We've also got Fire Diamond, which is also available in Commander Legends at the Common, Rarity, and Marble Diamond. So this should be easy to pick up right now. We've got a Mind Stone, which we can sacrifice. Then we've actually got Cartographer's Hawk. This is one from is it the Ikoria Precons, I think. And when Cartographer's Hawk deals combat damage to a player who controls more lands than you, return it to its owner's hand. It's a 2/1 flyer. And if you do, you can search your library for a plains and put it onto the battlefield tap. So it's ramp. It's very conditional, right? You have to attack, get through, deal damage, and then you get to go and find one plains and put it into play tapped, and you have to return Cartographer's Hawk. So you're not going to be able to do this every turn. But, on the other hand, I thought this is a deck. I haven't really been able to find a deck for this. This is a deck we're going to be throwing lots of equipment and auras on creatures. This is a cheap flyer, so it wears auras pretty well. So I got that. Now we also have a Transcendent Envoy, which is another cheap one you can find from a recent set. In this case, Theros Beyond Death. It is a 1/2 flyer, and aura spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So I'm putting that in the ramp category. We've also got another ramper creature here with Denitha Capuchin Paragon, legendary human knight. She's 2/2 for strike, vigilance, lifelink. Already wears those auras pretty well, and aura equipment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Also, what is an equipment deck without equipment that helps us ramp? So we've got Explorer Scope. Comes down for 1, equipped for 1, and when an equipped creature attacks, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you can put it onto the battlefield tapped. The more popular one for that, Sword of the Animist. It's going to buff +1/+1. It equips for 2, and whenever equipped creature attacks, you can search your library for a basic land and put it on the battlefield tapped. So a little bit more reliable. We also have Prying Blade, comes down for 1, equips for 2. Gives a slight power buff, and when an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure artifact token, which, as you know, can make mana of any color. We'll probably just be using it for white and red. Wyleth is probably still going to get removed, and so we want Wyleth to be able to come back and be hasty and get in right away. So we have a couple little haste enablers. We have Ogre Battle Driver, which is a 3/3. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, that creature gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. So that's just going to help us with Wyleth and with other creature threats to get in. We've also got, look, an aura. Footfall Crater. Another cheap one from a recent set, in this case Ikoria, and this actually enchants a land, so we can't put it on Wyleth, but as you'll see, we have some other bonuses for playing auras, so we're going to play this. It also cycles for 1, and the land can tap and give things haste, which is nice. Classic haste enabler here, Swiftfoot Boots, to give hexproof and haste. I believe that came in the set. We've got Crystal Slipper, another cheap haste enabler, and the slight buff. So very cheap to equip, so that's good. Extra combats. Morag, Fury of Akum. Each creature you control gets +1/+0 for each time it has attacked this turn, and then landfall, you can get an extra combat, so that's pretty cool. Remember to play it after your combat step, so you can untap all your creatures. We also have Response Resurgence. This one came in the deck, and it's flexible, but the Resurgence part is why I put it in this category. That is a sorcery for 5 creatures you control gain first strike and vigilance, and then after this main phase there's an additional combat phase. And response is a little bit of removal, can deal 5 damage to attacking or blocking creature in a pinch. We also have just a classic here, Relentless Assault, which came with the deck, and that's just a straight up 4 mana, get an extra combat step. We want Wyleth to be able to draw us those cards, so we need to be able to attack with impunity. So this is a category of things that will let Wyleth do that. We have the Prowler's Helm, which is an underrated equipment. A quick creature can't be blocked except by walls, which often means just can't be blocked at all. Don't play this if your meta has an Arcades deck, obviously. We got a Floating Shield. When it comes into play, you choose a color. It has protection from the chosen color, and you can sacrifice it to give target creature protection from the chosen color until end of turn. So this is one we could also just play on another creature and then later sacrifice it if we need to save Wyleth. We also have another one that came with the deck, Unquestioned Authority, and when it enters the battlefield you draw a card, and an enchanted creature has protection from creatures, which means it can't be blocked by creatures, so it is unblockable. And if a creature like somehow could tap and deal damage to it, that would be reduced to 0. We also have Timely Ward, and I believe this is another one from the deck. This is an aura that can cast as though it had flash if it targets a commander, and it gives a creature indestructible. Also on the indestructible tip, we've got Spectra Ward, which is going to give +2/+2 and protection from all colors, but this effect doesn't remove auras, which is useful. We've also got Shielded by Faith, which gives a creature indestructible, and usefully, you can play it before you get Wyleth out, because whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you can attach Shielded by Faith to that creature. You can move it around for free. And then Indestructibility, which is just a straight up enchant permanent. Permanent is indestructible. If we've already got Wyleth indestructible, we could put that on something else. Last one here, another protection from creatures, Spirit Mantle, +1/+1. Next, we need to have other threats, right? Wyleth is going to be a huge target. We're hopefully going to draw a bunch of cards off of Wyleth and be able to play a lot of land, refill our hand, but we need more threats. So, great threat, and it's at common, is just a 1/1 trampling human warrior, but when it gets equipped or enchanted, it gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. Little mini Voltron guy. We've also got Flaring Flamekin from good old Dissension. It's an elemental warrior, and as long as it is enchanted, it gets +2/+2, has trample and fire breathing. 1 red gives it +1/+0. It's a 2/2. That costs 3 mana. We also have, also from Commander Legends, uncommon, Rayav Master Smith. For a red and a white, whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, that creature gains double strike until end of turn. So that includes itself, so we'll be able to turn that, and it's also 2/2, into threats. Also on the dwarf tip, we've got SRAM, Senior Edificer. And whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. And we will be casting pretty much those all the time with SRAM. We've also got Mesa Enchantress. That is just draw a card for any enchantment. I believe all the enchantments we have are auras, but if we don't have one that's an aura, that will work. We also have an equipment that cares about enchantments, which is Helm of the Gods. And it's only 1 to play and 1 to equip, so this could get very big very quickly. Now, how do we find those auras? We've got Heliod's Pilgrim. This is another cheap one, just from Theros Beyond Death. It's a 1/2 for 3, and when it enters the battlefield, you can search your library for an aura, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So, underrated tutor, and very good in our deck, because as you see, we have many auras, including Sage's Reverie, which is a 4 mana enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card for each aura you control that's attached to a creature, and enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. So, a little aura upon aura synergy. It's always going to cantrip unless they remove the creature out from under us, so be careful when you cast any auras. That's the challenge of auras. We also have Fencer's Mage Mark, another great one from the old Ravnica block here. 3 mana creatures you control that are enchanted get +1/+1 and have first strike, and it is itself an aura, so that's good if we decide we need to go a little bit wider than Wyleth. And we have Guardian's Mage Mark, which is similar, but you can play it with flash, and creatures you control that are enchanted get +1/+1. We also have, I love auras that are recurable. This is another great one you may remember from Theros Beyond Death. Sentinel's Eyes. And enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. Vigilance is very good in Commander because we want our giant Wyleth to be back to block also, and we can escape by exiling 2 other cards, which is probably pretty easy to do. We also have Griff's Boon as another recurable aura. This is enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has flying, and then for 4 mana we can return it from the graveyard attached to a creature. Also on the tutor tip, we have Open the Armory. I believe this was reprinted in Double Masters recently. You can search your library for an aura or equipment. We can't just have all auras, so I've added just a few select equipment like Ember Cleave. Probably all know what that does, but it's going to give a creature double strike, +1/+1, and trample. And you can flash it in, and you get a mana discount depending on how many attacking creatures you've got. I'm also trying out this new one from Zendikar Rising called Maul of the Skyclaves.
Thank you for shopping at Maul of the Skyclaves.
When Maul of the Skyclaves enters the battlefield, you attach it to a creature. So for 3 mana, we're going to give probably Wyleth, +2/+2, flying and first strike. Pretty good buff. It is a bit expensive to re-equip at 4 mana, but hopefully we won't have to do that. There's also just this classic here, Legendary Artifact Black Blade Reforged. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. So as long as this is on the battlefield, it's a huge threat. Equipped Legendary is 3, equipped otherwise is 7. But, you know, we have some ways to cheat on equip cost too. We've also got Colossus Hammer, and this one's just for fun. 1 mana, equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying. Costs 8 to equip, which is actually very doable, but of course, as I said, we're going to have some ways to cheat on equip costs if you stay tuned. We've also got Skull Clamp, which gives a equipped creature +1/-1, and when it dies, you draw 2 cards. Just a cheap, only 1 to equip, cheap to throw on Wyleth. Gets us a little bit when Wyleth inevitably gets removed. We've also got Sunforger, and this is a classic one. This comes with the deck. Very valuable card. It's going to give the equipped creature +4/+0, and the reason it's so popular here, red and a white, unattached Sunforger, search your library for a red or white instant card with converted mana cost 4 or less, and cast that card without paying its mana cost, and shuffle your library. So people put together whole packages of instants to grab with Sunforger, and the original deck came with quite a few, to the point that I think there were not enough auras and equipment in the deck itself. I just cut it down to the bare minimum for me, which is still quite a few, but we've got Generous Gift, which destroys a permanent and gives its controller a 3/3 elephant. We've got Chaos Warp, sort of the red Generous Gift, which is going to shuffle the permanent into a library, and then the owner is going to reveal the top and put it onto the battlefield. We've got Boros Charm, which came with the deck, has a number of modes. The one you're probably going to be using often is permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. You can also use it to double strike Wyleth, or in a pinch, we just need to deal 4 damage to face or a Planeswalker, we can use that first mode. Next we have Karametra's Blessing, which is going to protect our enchanted creatures. It only costs 1 white mana, and the creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and if it's an enchanted creature or enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible. So targeted removal ain't gonna cut it as long as we got 1 white mana up and this in hand. Similarly, we're gonna rebuff the Wicked. This is a super underrated white counterspell. You counter target spell that targets a permanent you control. So good luck with your targeted removal if we've got that in hand. We've also got Dawn Charm, another modal spell. The main one we can use is regenerate a creature, but we can also counter a spell that targets us with it, another white counter spell. Or if somehow we get into a bad combat, we can prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. So it's a little fog. Very useful. We also have this modal land, Sajiri Shelter. I'm putting this in the protection Sunforger package section, but you could also count it as a land. But target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Just another great way to either fizzle something or let Wyleth get in against a board that's all one kind of creature. Finally, we were talking about how important it is for Wyleth to have haste. This comes with the Precon. This is Expedite, just a red instant. Target creature gains haste and draw a card, so it just replaces itself. Very useful. For removal, we have just a couple board wipes here. I've put it in single combat because we're going to try to Voltron up Wyleth most of the time. And that is a board wipe where each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control and sacrifices the rest. and then players can't cast creature or planeswalker spells until the end of your next turn. So just, you know, let it go down to Wyleth with all the auras, and let the opponents that went wide get their lunch eaten. We also have Winds of Wrath, which destroys all creatures that aren't enchanted, and they can't be regenerated. Our board will survive that much better. Now, for more single target removal, again, we're just going to play a lot of auras, since we got all those creatures that help us either get reduced mana cost on auras or draw cards when we play auras. First one up here is Nahiri's Binding. It can take out a creature or planeswalker, just detains it. We've also got Prison Term, and very useful because when a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you may attach Prison Term to that creature. So we don't have to be scared to put it out, and they're going to play a bigger threat. We can just move it over. We also have Trapped in the Tower, which doesn't hit creatures with flying, unfortunately, but it's just a very cheap lock up a creature, and very inexpensive monetarily as well. We also have another cheap white removal, Dreadful Apathy. We can pop it on a creature, it can't attack or block, and then at some point we can exile that enchanted creature. Finally, need some equipment-based removal, and what's better than Argentum Armor? It gives a equipped creature +6/+6, and whenever that creature attacks, destroy target permanent, equip 6. It's a bit of magical Christmas land thing, but I have seen it deployed in Commander before, and it is terrifying. We also have, these are fun, Erois' Blessing, which enchants a creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls, and it gives a little buff. So great for just throwing on Wyleth. And then Galvanic Arc, which was its predecessor from original Ravnica City of Guilds here. Enchant creature, when Galvanic Arc comes into play, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and enchanted creature has first strike. So it just sticks around as an aura, helps us draw more cards. Finally, the mana base, and I did do quite a bit of work on the mana base that comes with the Precon. I tried to get rid of any tapped lands, essentially, and this, I think, is just going to be my Boros mana base that I move from deck to deck. So we've got Spectator Seating, we've got Command Tower, which comes with the deck, and you can also find as a common in Commander Legends. We do have Boros Garrison, which is a tap land, but it's a dual. That comes with the Precon. We've got Sacred Foundry, we've got Sunbaked Canyon, and I know you may not have some of these lands. I just happen to have some copies of some of these, but if you don't, you know what? A Plains or a Mountain is good too. Needle Verge Pathways, the only one I had was this very nice full art land. And let's take a look at the other side here. We got the Pillar Verge Pathway, which taps for white. We also have some utility lands here. Sun Home, Fortress of the Legion. This came with the deck. It taps for colorless, or target creature gains double strike until end of turn for 4 mana. Another 4 mana tapper, Rogue's Passage, classic, came with the deck. Creature can't be blocked. Use that to get Wyleth in for some free attacks. We have Myriad Landscape, which enters the battlefield tapped, but we can use it to ramp. We also have Encroaching Wastes, which came with the deck, and this is just land removal. I think the big land we'd be scared of is a Maze of Ith on the opposing side. So we have this in the deck just in case we need to take out a Maze of Ith. It's like a bad version of Wasteland. Also, we have Slayer's Stronghold, which came with the deck, and for a red and a white and tap it, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains Vigilance and Haste until end of turn. And then we have 13 Mountains and 13 Plains. So that is Wyleth. Are you kidding me? And I will also talk a little bit here at the end of the video about some of the stuff that I cut from the deck. Alright, we have here a huge stack of cards, the ones I considered, and they didn't make the deck. Starting off right off the bat, Swords to Plowshares, Mother of Runes, Blind Obedience, Bone Splitter, just looking for cheap equipment. As you see, I ended up cutting a lot of the equipment stuff and just focusing on auras. Fire Shrieker, Mask of Avacyn, Ancestral Blade, General's Kabuto, I considered this one. It gives your creature Shroud. But, you know, Shroud is not good if you're popping auras on things. Sigh of the Shinobi, Shadow Spear, that was one of the last cuts. We also had Sculpting Steel, which is just great to come down and copy some of your opponent's ramp, or copy another equipment, or whatever you need. Valorous Stance, this is another one from the Sunforger package. Get Psychotic Fury, Unbreakable Formation. It's more of a go wide. I went for some of the cheaper, just save 1 creature spells. A Braid, just a great EDH card. Ablation, we ended up just going with Generous gift, but before they printed Generous Gift, this is what you had to use. Ring of Thune, and then its counterpart, Ring of Valkas, Comet Storm. Also came with the deck, Sigarda's Aid. You probably want to put this in, actually, with the Colossus Hammer, but c'est la vie. Temur Battle Rage, Samut Sprint, Magnetic Theft, another way to cheat equipment costs. Definitely put that in a more equipment-related build. Arden Intrepid Archaeologist. I really wanted to find a spot for this. This lets us cheat auras around and equipment onto stuff, but just ended up focusing down. Another way to cheat equipment here, Brass Squire. For more tutoring, we got Relic Seeker. We also had Stonehaven Outfitter, Akiri Fearless Voyager, Volshock Battlemaster, another one I regret not being able to find room for. When it comes into play, attach all equipment in play to it. Core Blade Master, Stoneforge Mystic, Loxodon Warhammer, here's another one that came with the deck. Instill Furor, I really wanted to keep this in the package of removal, because you can enchant your opponent's creatures and then make them either sacrifice or have to attack with their creatures. Also had Hot Soup, very dangerous if there's any red mages running around. Master Warcraft, Brave the Sands. All these are still under consideration once I play the deck, and check my deck list in the comments. I'll keep it updated. You can see if I've made any changes since this video was recorded. Palace Sentinels, Crimson Fleet Commodore, Wear Tear, we got a Rescos Explorer, Disenchant, Maximize Velocity, Thud. I was thinking maybe we would do some flinging with this deck once we got Wyleth big enough, but ended up cutting that idea. Reckless Charge, Spite Mare, this was one I thought would be fun to like equip up and either block or make opponents block, but again, just not room in the deck. Volshock Sorcerer, All That Glitters, should this be in the deck? Possibly. I might try and find a place for that. Crackling Club, Spirit Flare, Make a Stand, Squeeze Embrace, Triclopean Sight, Spirit Loop, Dragon Mantle, Angelic Gift, Vow of Lightning, Volcanic Strength, creature gets +2/+2 and Mountain Walk, Undying Rage, Racecourse Fury, Storm Herald. Really wanted Storm Herald to make this deck, but just couldn't see a justification for it because it does exile all the auras when it dies, which is too bad. Bomat Courier, Tiana Ship's Caretaker, Swiftblade Vindicator, Aura Touched Mage, another from my old Ravnica collection. This is a human wizard. I think this is actually kind of an underrated, slightly janky card, but it lets you basically tutor an aura and pop it on there when it comes into play. Terramorphic Expanse, I cut Secluded Step, I cut Evolving Wilds, I cut Windscarred Crag, Stone Quarry, Forgotten Cave, Memorial to War, the Boros Guildgate, some more equipment here, Hero's Blade, Haunted Cloak, Lord of Vengeance, Word of Seizing, Wild Ricochet, Jaya's Immolating Inferno, some removal, Dual Caster Mage, Martial Coup, Odric, took out Faith Unbroken, Flicker Wisp. I mean, you can use it to move auras around, but I just didn't see the point of that. Ironclad Slayer, Core Cartographer, very slow ramp. On Sarah's Wings, just a very expensive aura. Return to Dust, Fists of Flame, Condemn, the poor man's Swords to Plowshares there, Volcanic Fallout, White Sun Zenith, Transguild Promenade was a tap land, Rupture Spire was a tap land. And that is the eliminated stuff. So, thank you for joining me here in the attic. As I said at the beginning, subscribe, like, stay tuned. Let me know if you like these deck techs, if you like to see more gameplay, what kind of stuff you like. Leave some comments. And as always, remember, Magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it.